Let's start just by warming up our shoulders, taking a couple shoulder rolls right there. Just noticing your breath as we do that. Gonna let your shoulders rest and just bring the arms up above your head, taking a big breath in. And exhale as those arms come right back down to the side. Continue that motion on your own timing for right now. Focusing on filling the lungs with air three-dimensionally, front, side, and of course back behind the heart, into those ribs back there, making sure we're getting those full breaths because we will need it. Good. Let the arms come to rest. Let's just lift and lower the heels, taking the heels all the way off, and then sinking them controlled back down to the ground and lifting and lowering. Just becoming conscious of how those toes are spread out wide onto the floor. The weight is evenly distributed between the right foot and your left foot. One more. Let's bring the heels down to the ground. Lift one arm over your head. Just do a side bend for me. Really opening now through the side of the ribs, still keeping the heels anchored onto the floor. Come back up to standing. Now it's the other arm. Lifts up and over. Enjoying that side bend. Good. One more time each side. Bring it up and over. Good. And the other side. Good. Let's take a big inhale. Raise the arms up above the head. Exhale, lowering those arms, starting then from the top of the head, a roll down. Bone for bone, take your time all the way towards the floor as far as it feels comfortable. Continuing our warm up, just bend the knees now and stretch the legs. Doesn't have to go all the way stretched, it depends on your flexibility for today. Bend the knees, letting everything else hang there. Exhale, stretching the legs. And last one, little bend. Lengthening the legs and then roll all the way back up to standing, bone for bone, taking your time, supporting with your belly muscles. Lift the arms overhead. Big breath in. Exhale, arms down. Start with the top of the head. Roll yourself down, bone for bone. Good. This time keeping the legs relatively stretched. Take a breath. And then start rolling yourself up to standing, taking your time. Raise the arms up above the head. Lower the arms back down. Start your roll down. Walk the hands out. So we have about 3 steps with the hands into a high plank. Finding that high plank. Stay here, taking another big breath. Walking your hands back in so that we're going right through, rolling back up to standing, bone for bone. Raise the arms up above the head. Sink them back down, starting from the top of the head, rolling down, bone for bone, hollowing the belly as you go. Walk the hands out into your high plank. Staying here in high plank for a moment, shoulders are down. Bring the knees onto the floor, all fours position. Cat stretch, cow stretch, rounding through the spine. Lengthening through the spine. And again, rounding. and lengthening. Back through a neutral spine, tuck your toes, lift the hips and walk your way back so that you can roll back up to standing. Taking your time, bone for bone, coming all the way back up. Lift the arms above the head. Bring them back by the side, starting from the top of the head, rolling down, articulating through the spine, keeping the weight on the balls of the feet. Walk your way front to your high plank. Again, spending a moment right here, feeling the shoulders pulling down, the belly muscles pulled in, long back of neck. Knees down to the floor for your all fours, 2 times cat stretch, cow stretch, rounding through. And lengthening. One more time, cat stretch. Cow. Stay in a neutral spine now. Tuck your toes underneath you. Just lift the knees 1 centimeter or half an inch from the floor. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Shift your weight back onto the heels, lifting the hips. Walk your hands back, starting everything over again. Hands come in, rolling back up to standing, bone for bone all the way up, using those hamstrings. The backs of the legs are ready. Lift the arms up above the head. Let them sink down towards the side. Top of the head starts to roll you down towards the floor. Walk the hands out to your high plank position. Staying right here for a moment. Again, feeling the belly muscles pulled in, supporting your back. Shoulders are down. Take another breath. Bring your knees down onto the floor. Cat stretch, cow stretch 2 times. Hollowing the belly, very active movement. And lengthening. One more time. Find your neutral position. Tuck your toes underneath you. Lift those knees 1 centimeter from the floor and hold. Feeling how the thighs are working. Your spine is in a neutral position. Shoulders are pulled down and back. Lift the hips to the downward facing dog. Stay right here. Heels are pressing down. Long arms. Walk the hands in towards your feet. Roll your way back up to standing, using the active hamstrings, backs of the legs to help. When you're ready, lift the arms all the way up to the sky. Big inhale. Exhale, start sinking the arms, starting from the top of the head, moving down. Walking out to your high plank. Spending a moment right there. Thighs are strong, heels are pressing back. Knees down to the floor, all fours, cat stretch, cow stretch, rounding. Lengthening. Again, rounding. Lengthening. Neutral spine, tuck toes, lift knees, 1 centimeter, holding for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the hips to the downward facing dog. Stay right here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Shift your way back to high plank. Good. We have front support, bringing one leg off of the floor. Lift it just lightly from the floor. Stay right there. Variation, holding for 4, 3, 2, 1. Foot comes down to the floor. Other leg lifts, lengthens behind you, holding for 4, 3, 2, 1. Foot down to the floor. Downward facing dog, lifting the hips, feeling those low abdominal muscles shift you back. Walk your hands into your feet. Roll yourself back up to standing. Raise the arms up above the head, taking a big breath. Lower them back down, starting top of head, pouring your way towards the front, keeping your weight on the balls of the feet. Walk your way front to the high plank position. Staying right here, thighs are long, stretched, backs of knees engaged, long. Knees down to the floor. Cat stretch, cow stretch, rounding, lengthening, full range of motion. Again, rounding, lengthening. Neutral spine, tuck your toes, lift the knees, hovering from the ground, holding for 4. Holding is still active, 3. Being present, 2. 1, lift the hips to the downward dog. It's also called upstretch. Staying right here, heels pressing down, tailbone lifting up to the sky, low belly muscles are lifted. Stay 4, 3, 2, 1. Move back to the high plank, walking your hands out. Good. If you need to close the legs a bit, do that now. We're lifting one leg from the floor, holding 4, 3. Stretch that knee behind you, 2. 1. Foot down to the floor, other leg lifts, holding for 4, 3, 2, 1. Foot down to the floor, squeeze the elbows in as you lower all the way down towards the belly. Stretch the feet onto the floor. We're getting ready for breaststroke, lifting the chest. Good. Arms lifted as well. Then we stretch the arms long in front of you. Sweep the arms back. Gently lift the chest. Bend the elbows 2 more times. We go front. Breaststroke is the name of the exercise. Lifting through the chest. Last one. Breaststroke out. Wide, generous arms. Good. Bring your hands back onto the floor. Tuck your toes underneath you. Lift yourself up like a plank. It also looks like a push-up. Good. Then bring the hips to the downward facing dog. Walk the hands back in. Roll your way back up to standing. Again, adjusting anything you need to in your body. Raise the arms. Lower them back down. Starting from the top of the head, again, pouring your way front, hollow belly. Walk your way front. Holding. 3, 2, 1. Knees down. Cat stretch, cow stretch, rounding. Lengthening. Again, rounding. Lengthening, tucking your toes. Long neutral spine, lifting knees, holding for 4, 3. Long back of neck, 2, 1. Downward dog, lifting the hips, holding for 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to high plank. Good. Lifting one leg from the floor. Holding 4. Stretch that knee behind you. 3, 2, 1. Foot down. Change the leg. 4, 3, 2, 1. Foot down. Squeeze the elbows in as you lower all the way down to the belly. Keeping your abdominals engaged, breaststroke 3 times, lifting the chest. We reach the arms front, sweep them back, give a light expansion of the chest. 2 more. Stretch. And up. Last one, stretch. And back. Good, bring your hands back down onto the floor, toes tucked. Stretch the arms into that plank position. Then bring the knees onto the floor, coming up for thigh stretch, bringing the entire body up, rolling. Good. Squeezing the hands in towards the body. Light lean back. We'll do 3 of these as well. Lean back, hinging at the knees and coming back up. Again, 2, lifting the abdominal muscles long like a board without arching the back. Thigh stretch. Good. And the last one right here. Thigh stretch. Bringing your hands down onto the floor. Good. Tuck the toes underneath you, lifting the hips to the downward dog. Walk the hands in towards your feet, rolling yourself back up bone for bone. Big breath, arms reach up. Take more space, widen as you go down, top of head, pouring down. High plank is next. Take an extra breath. Knees down, all fours, cat stretch, cow stretch. Just do one time now. Cat stretch, cow stretch. Tuck your toes underneath you, lift the knees, stay there. 3, 2, 1. Downward dog, lifting the hips up. Holding for 3, 2, 1. High plank. Walking the hands out, reach one leg up, we'll change it. Lift one leg and down. Switch other leg and down. One more time. Lift one leg and down. Lift the other leg and down. Lower all the way down to your belly. Stretch the feet onto the floor, breaststroke again 3 times. Reaching the arms long in front, sweeping them back as if those fingertips can touch your toes. 2 more. Down, reach, pull the arms back, light expansion, and last one. And up. Good. Bring your hands onto the ground, tuck your toes, stretch the arms. Good. Bring your knees onto the floor. 2 times thigh stretch, rolling yourself right back up. Long like a board, lean towards the back, and come back up. Beautiful. Again, lean. And back up. Stretch your left leg out towards the side. Bring both, you could stay there, I think. Bring left leg to the side, bringing both hands behind the head, moving away from the left leg. So we're folding towards the side, working those obliques, and lift up. We'll do 3 of these. Side, and up. And last one, side, and up. Switch to the other side. Right leg moves out. Move towards the left, away from the long leg. And 2. Good. Last one, 3. Good. Bring the knee back onto the floor. Bring your hands onto the floor. Lift the hips, downward facing dog. Walk the hands back in towards the feet. Roll yourself all the way back up to standing. Reach arms. Bring them down. Roll yourself down, watching the breath. Walking your way out. Knees to the floor. 1 time cat-cow. Rounding. Lengthening. Tuck your toes underneath you. Lift the knees, hovering right above the ground. Then lift the hips up to the downward dog. Take a breath. Walk yourself out to the high plank position. 4 switches of the legs again. Lift one leg and down. Other leg and down. First leg and down. Change the leg and down. Slowly lower yourself down to your belly. Stretch the feet onto the ground. Breaststroke 2 times. Lifting the chest. Reaching out. And lift. Again, reach out. And lift. Bring your hands onto the floor. Tuck your toes underneath you. Lift yourself to the high plank. Knees onto the floor, getting ready for thigh stretch 2 times. Leaning back, scooping through the abdominal muscles and up. Again, thigh stretch, light lean, and back. Left leg out towards the side again, both hands behind the head 2 times. We fold side and up and side. We're adding on right now. Bring that right hand down to the floor. Left leg lifts and lowers from the floor. Lift the leg and lower. And lift and lower. 2 more times. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Bring the knee back down to the floor. Getting ready for the other side. Reach the right leg out to the side. Fold for the obliques 2 times. Lean again away from the leg. Good. Bring your left hand onto the floor. 4 times. Lift the leg. Lower it down. And lift. And lower. Good. Lengthen up and down. Last one. Up and down. Bring yourself back through the all fours. Tuck your toes. Lift hips. Walk your way back in. Rolling all the way up to standing. This time, let's do one more time like this. Reaching the arms up above the head. Lower it back down, starting from the top of the head. Walking your way out. Knees down. One time, cat-cow. Good. Tuck toes, lift knees, hovering. Lift the hips. Back to high plank. 4 times the legs. 1 and down. Stretch and lift. And down. And lift. And down. Last one. Lift. And down slowly all the way down to your belly. Stretch those feet onto the ground. Let's do 3 of them. Breaststroke. 1. And lift. And 2. And lift. Last one. 3. And lift. Bring your hands, place them onto the ground, tuck those toes underneath you, stretch the arms. Good, then bring the knees onto the floor. Good, all the way up to that thigh stretch. Let's keep it with 4 now. Thigh stretch, leaning back and up. Lean back. Good, scooping from the abdominal muscles, so we're not arching the back right there. 3. Good, and 4. Beautiful. Bring one leg out to the side, right leg out, both hands behind the head. Let's do 4 times. Obliques. Good. Leaning away. And 2. Make it a little bit bigger as if that elbow can touch the floor. 3. And 4. Good. One more brings that hand down onto the floor. Lift and lower the leg. Again, 4 times. Then we do our last add-on for today. 2, 3, and that leg stays up there for side kicks. We're going to flex that foot and bring the leg to the front for kick, kick. Point it, bring it back for kick, kick. Front, kick, kick, and back. Kick, kick, and 3, kick, kick, and back. And 4, and back. Beautiful. Bring that knee back down to the floor. Let's do everything on to the other side. Left leg stretches out, obliques. Again, reaching away, lateral flexion and up. The elbow almost touching down towards the ground. It's not possible, but we want to try. And 3. And 4. Good. This next one brings your hand down to the floor. For the kneeling section, we're lifting the leg and lowering the leg and lift and lower. 2 more. Lift. Good. Bring those ribs back together and 4. Good. Flex the foot. We bring it towards the front. Kick, kick, point. Bring it back. Kick, kick. Flex front. Kick, point back. Flex front. Point back. Last one. And point back. Bring that leg back down to the floor. Child's pose. Taking a moment to rest. Sitting onto your heels. Very nicely done. Let's transfer so that we are lying on our backs. So we're just going to work on a few chest lifts before we add it into our series right here. Both hands behind the head, shoulders are pulling lightly down, and let's do 4 times a chest lift in the center. 4. And 3, trying to clear the shoulder blades from the floor. Let's do a chest lift with rotation, crossing over. Hips are staying anchored. 2, those legs are staying quiet. 3, good, and 4, beautiful. We'll just keep the head down onto the floor, stretch the arms next to you so that they stay there for a moment. Bring your right leg up towards the sky. Point through the foot will stay pointed the whole exercise for today. Sink the leg down and bring it up. Good, 4 times here, and 2. Lengthening through the knee, pointing through the foot. 3, still using the abdominal muscles the whole time. 4. Bring that leg down to the floor, switch it to the other side, lengthening out and away. Good, lower and lift. 2, 3, good, and 4. Bring the foot back down onto the floor. Good, bringing both hands behind the head. Good. Stretch your right leg up towards the sky one more time. Chest stays now lifted the whole time. Lower the leg and lift it for 4 times. 2, 3. Extending away from you. 4. Place the foot back onto the floor. Head comes down for one short moment. Stretch left leg up to the sky. Lift chest. 4 times. Leg lengthening out and lifting. 2. Make sure it's your abs doing the work, not your arms right there. 3. That's the hard part. And 4. Foot comes down to the floor. Head goes down to the floor. Take a big breath. Right leg stretches up towards the sky. Chest lift with rotation. The rotation of the chest stays the whole time, crossing over. And the leg lowers. The leg lifts. The chest stays rotated. 2. 3. Support your head with the hand. 4. Good. Head back down. Other leg reaches up towards the sky. Rotate to the leg that's in the sky. 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Bring your head back down onto the floor. Take another breath. I hope our belly muscles are doing really well. Last of our exercises, or here comes the flow part of it. Stretching both legs up towards the sky. We'll start right here. Lengthening up to the sky. We have now a scissor without the pulse. So we're bringing one leg down towards the floor. Good, and switch to the other leg, lengthening out. Good. So this is our first motion. And 4. Good. Lift the chest. Continue on right here. And let's go switch 1 and 2. Switch 3 and 4. Overcross to the top leg. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Chest goes back down to the floor. The legs continue. And 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Chest lift. 4 and 3 and 2. Stays up. 1. Over cross. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Last round. Head back down. Legs and 2. Belly muscles together. 3 and 4. Chest lift. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Over cross for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Beautiful work, bringing everything back down to the ground. Stretch your arms long onto the floor. Good. Leg stays bent. We're starting with the tailbone, lifting the hips off, 1 vertebrae at a time. And slowly back down to the floor, 1 bone at a time. Good. And again, lifting. And lowering. Good. And lift. Good. And one more time like this. Good. Your hips come down onto the floor. Hug those knees into the chest. Give yourself a gentle little rock. Front side, back, whatever you want. Bring both feet back onto the floor. Both feet stay on the floor right now. Good. We're lowering and lifting the hips this time like a board. Lift the hips up, one long line, and lower it back down. Let's do 4 of these. Good. And 2, and down. 3. Good. And 4. We'll stay up there. Lower and lift the heels 4 times together. 4 and down. Good. And 3. Beautiful. 2 and 1. The heels come down to the floor. Bring the hips down to the floor. Take a big breath. Lift and lower again the hips. 4 and down like a board. 3, really pressing those heels down for me. And 2, it's actually for you. Good. And staying up there. 1, lower and lift the heels. 4 and 3. Keep the hips on the same level. 2, lengthen that low spine. And 1, heels stay down. Good. Little pulses with the hips. Lifting 4, mini pulse. 3 and 2 and 1. Lift both heels. Again, pulse. 4, 3, 2, 1. Heels down, hips down. Take a big breath. Lower and lift the hips. We go lift and lower, really using the glutes, the popo muscles to do this. 2, pulling slightly underneath with your heels. 3. Good. 4th one stays up there. Lower and lift the heels at the same time. 4 and down. Spread those toes. 3. Good. Heels up, heels down. Last one up. Heels stay down. 4 pulses with the hips. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift both heels. Pulse with the hips. 4, 3, 2, 1. Heels come back down. Raise the right leg to the sky. 4 pulses, trying to touch your toe to the ceiling. 4, 3, 2, 1. Foot comes down to the floor. Other leg stretches up to the sky. Pulse. 4, 3, 2, 1. Foot comes down to the floor. Hips come down to the floor. Take a big breath. There's only one more addition to this one. Here we go. Starting with a long spine. Again, lifting the hips and lower it back down. Concentrate on where the popo muscle is meeting that hamstring, the back of the leg. 2. So you're working deep in that hip. 3, lengthening your low spine, staying up there for 4. Hips stay still, heels lift. Heels lift, heels lower. Heels lift and lower. 2 more. Lift, lower, lift. They stay down. Hip lift, mini pulse. 4, 3, 2, 1. Heels lift, pulse. 4, 3, 2, 1. Heels down. Raise the right leg to the sky. Little pulse. 4, 3, 2. Stay there. 1. That leg lowers down, the right leg, and lift it back up. And 2, only 4 times. Lengthening the leg away from you. 3, make sure that left hip is engaged. 4, bring the foot down onto the floor. Raise the left leg up to the sky. 4 little pulses. Pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lower the leg. Lower and lift. And 2. Lift. 3. Lift. And last one. Good. Foot comes down to the floor. Hips down to the floor. Hug both knees into the chest. Let's raise one leg up to the sky, giving ourselves a little stretch right there. Holding on to that leg with both hands. Somewhere, wherever it feels good, take a breather. Maybe circling the foot. Circle the foot to the other way. Changing the leg. Stay here for a moment with long leg, soft shoulders. Circle the foot. Other way. Beautifully done. For our next section, we do have some roll-ups and rollovers. So we want to make sure that we don't have anything behind you. Furniture, pets, kids, yeah, whatever, walls, whatever can be in the way. Make sure we're starting in a good position. Stretching both legs long on the ground first. Let's start with our roll-ups. Almost, Chris, not quite. Good. First, let's first stretch the arms long above the head, so fingertips reaching, toes are reaching away from each other. Then reach the arms up towards the sky, starting to roll up to your seated position, straight to that spine stretch forward. So we're scooping from the belly muscles and rounding ourselves. Good, and then roll back down to the ground. And this time reach the arms above the head. So we'll just do 2 more of these beautiful roll ups. You can use the hands on your thighs if you need to. Good. Articulating through the spine just the same as we did in our roll down at the very top of your training. This time we'll roll ourselves down onto the floor, and instead of raising the arms, we'll press the arms down to the floor and lift the legs. Going straight into a roll over, lifting the hips from the floor, articulating through the spine so the legs are behind you. Flex the feet, open the legs hip distance apart, and then bone for bone, bring the hips down to the floor. Let's do 2 more rollovers right here, or any variation that works well for your body. As you're doing your rollover, make sure that we have some breath movement in there, so we're not going to hold the breath, because then we get headaches, and that's a shame. One more time, your roll over, lifting, articulating through the spine, flex the feet, open the legs hip distance apart, and roll yourself back down to the floor. Beautiful. Let's bring the legs all the way down to the floor and just combine those 2 exercises together. Reaching arms first above the head. And let's go for a roll up. Roll up to the spine, stretch forward. Slowly roll back down, pressing the hands into the floor as those legs lift from the floor, and roll over. Weight is onto your shoulders, not onto your necks. Flex the feet, open the legs, and bone for bone. Bring the legs all the way down to the floor if you feel like you control it. Bring arms above the head. And rolling up again. Breathing through. Spine stretch forward. Back down to the ground. We'll take our roll over, flex the feet, open the legs, lower your hips back down, and now we'll go up to a teaser, because why not? Teaser legs so the legs stay on 60 degrees and lift yourself up to that teaser. That was a surprise for you. Roll yourself back down onto the floor, bring the legs down onto the floor, raise the arms above the head. Roll up. We'll do 2 more of these sequences and that's it. Good, spine stretch forward. Articulate your way down to the floor. Lift the legs, getting ready for that roll over. Flexing feet, open the legs. Hips come down to the floor, they lower back. Good, 60 degrees, they stay as you go all the way up to teaser. Take a moment of that extra stretch, that openness of the chest. Roll your chest back down. Bring your feet down to the floor. Raise the arms above the head last time, like I promised. Roll up. Spine stretch forward. All the way down to the floor. Roll over. Flex the feet. Come all the way back down with your hips. Legs go to teaser position. Raise the arms as you roll all the way up in that beautiful teaser. Staying in the teaser for a moment. For 4, 3, 2, 1. And you are done with this section. Beautiful. Let's just lie onto our bellies for a moment and give yourself a little stretch of the chest, pressing the hands down onto the floor, lifting your chest in a cobra or a little bit higher position, whatever feels good for your back. Good. Up and down, perhaps a couple times. And last. Good. Shift your weight back into either a child's pose or your all fours position. Child's pose, whatever feels nice to you. Good, and let's come out to the side of the body now. Rolling onto the side of your body. Good, supporting your head or your neck, however you want to. Both legs are extended long. Shoulders are soft. We'll start with let's go one leg. Lift the top leg and lower. Good, 6 times of these. And 2. Good. 3. 5, extend through the heel, pressing away from you, and 6. Good, little circles now. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That leg comes back down. Both legs lift. For the double leg lift. Lift and almost bring it down to the ground, but it's still hovering. Again, 2, 3, 4. Really lateral flexion right there. 5 and 6. Good. We'll bring the forearm down onto the floor. So we're raised up sort of halfway. If you want to, you can bend the bottom knee or you keep it stretched. Lift the ribs from the floor. Good, it's a smaller movement. We're going to lift and lower that top leg again. 6 and 5, 4. Check the shoulders. Elbow is right underneath the shoulder. And 6. Good. 6 circles. 1, 2, 3. Waist is working. 4 and 5 and 6. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Beautiful. And there's not possible to do double leg lift. Don't worry. We're going to bring either the bottom leg bent again or both legs stay long. This is now your choice because it's going to get tricky. It's in the side plank that we do the next exercise. So bottom leg can be bent or both legs. Good. And then we lower and lift that top leg. 1, 2. That bottom hip is really engaged, lifting. 3, 4. If you need to make a change for your body, go ahead and do it. 5, 6. 6 circles. Last 6 and 5 and 4, 3, 2, 1. Other way. 1. Lifting those hips. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Bring your weight back down onto the floor. Mermaid stretch, bending the knees. Good. And folding to the leg. So the good news at home is that we have the other side and then we have some stretching. So you are almost, Chris is now doing a disco mermaid, just in case you're wondering what that was. Mermaid with a bad internet connection. or that. Okay, so let's go do the other side, lying on the side of the body. And we started with a double leg lift. That was came at end. Let's start with the top leg lifting. One and down, just the top leg. I got excited. Two, I know it happens. Three, extend the knee, press the heel out. Four, five, and six. Circles. One, two, three. Rounding that circle. Four, five. Make your waist active. Six. Other way. One, two, three, four, five, six. Now comes the double leg lift, the extra little lifting, almost touch it down, but not. Two, three, four, extending. Five, and six. Good. Bringing the forearm onto the ground. You have the option of bending that bottom leg if you want to. Make sure the waist is engaged, the rib cage is lifted from the floor. Take that top leg. Again, it's a parallel position. It doesn't need to be a big lift. And lower. Two. Good. Stretch the knee. Three. Check your shoulders. Four. Five. And six. Good. Circle the leg. One. Two. Chris is getting... Maybe we don't watch Chris now. Four. Chris is losing his concentration. I hope you're not at home. Five. Six. Other way. For six. Five. Four. This is the last exercise, friends. Three, two, one. We just have the side plank. No double legs. We have our side plank. Choose your position. Either the bottom leg is bent or the top or both legs are stretched. Your choice. Lift up the hips. Let's get this beautiful exercise done. Lift and lower that top leg. One. Extend out. Two. Lift those hips up higher. Three. Check your shoulder. Four. Excellent. Five. Six. Six circles. One, two, three, four, five, six. Other way for six, five. Almost there. Four, three, two, one. Mermaid stretch, bending the knees, fold over the side. What a great feeling to know that all the hard work is done. Chris is singing, "Oh, what a feeling." We're going to go into some stretches right now. Let's start with a hip flexor stretch. So going probably through your all fours position, bringing one foot in front. Good. And lunging to a position that feels good for you. You can either keep your hands on the floor or lift yourself up a bit higher. Good. As you're moving through your stretches, no special breathing patterns there, but just noticing how the breath flows. Trying to let that relax down so you can get the endorphins through, that you know that you finished your hard work out for the day. Let's bring that leg across for a pigeon pose. So crossing the leg over so that the outside of the thigh is on the floor. Good. Either staying low or top or higher up. Take your time to go to the lunge on the other side. Finding perhaps a 90-degree angle in that front leg. Hands are either on the floor or on the thigh. here. Deep breaths. We are ready for the pigeon pose. Just crossing that leg over. Either lowering yourself all the way down or coming up a bit higher if you need to or want to. Releasing the jaw, relax your shoulders. Let's come up to your seated position, however it feels comfortable for you. And we'll do a side bend. And we'll just sort of flow with this. Take a side bend as far as it feels comfortable. Take an extra breath. And then switch already to the other side, reaching up and over. One more time, the first side. And the other side. Coming back up to a seated position. Let's roll the shoulders back a few times. Reach the arms out towards the side with a very big inhale, lifting the arms up. On the exhale, soften the arms back down, relaxing those shoulders. 2 more. Last one. Thank you so much for playing Pilates with us today. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did. Questionable.